This is the Medical Marijuana Radio Network.
Dear Renaissance City, regardless of recent and past events, I will always love you not only as my hometown, but a place of inspiration. Even though I have much more to experience ahead of me, a majority of the credit goes to you. So it's only right that I represent where I'm from.
I'm from Detroit, home of the real D-boys. We don't need decoys, we cannot be destroyed. My city is brilliant, beautiful, resilient. Hands up for the millions who keep on rebuilding. I'm from Detroit.
And the D is for Detroit, not the wannabe images that need to be destroyed. So I'm taking it back, there's no escaping the fact. This is where it came from, like making rain with a stack. As the haters dispute, I'ma make a tribute to the spirit of the city. All my faith is in you. From east, west, southwest, every day I salute. Paying my dues from the pavement, I cruise and facing the truth. That means I am my city, my hood, my fam. Know when you're down with me, I could die glad. We hope for better things, it shall rise from the ashes. That's the motto with the D. Open your eyes as you're passing the Institute of Arts. Campus marshes, Shane Park, Hart Plaza, Grand Circus Park. Right, the people moving, stop at every station it's got. You can tell we're headed straight for the top.
I'm from Detroit, home of the real D-boys. We don't need decoys, we cannot be destroyed. My city is brilliant, beautiful, resilient. Hands up for the millions who keep on rebuilding. I'm from Detroit.
City, cause a nation without this ain't mobile, is it? Who was there when you needed job support by the big three? Who was America's cavalry filling votes by the big fleet? Speaking of USA, this hits bill, ring a bell. In the opposite lane, the Fisher Building as well. The historical museum, always willing to tell the history of a fort that's now the city we dwell. Can't forget who we wish never made departure. The lawyer we will always know is Mayor Archer. That man gave his heart, humble straight from the start, like a bass drummer in a marching band playing his part. A foolish man told me with no faith in his stare, if you make it out the D, you can make it anywhere. I done played in my seat, try to take it if you dare, but that's like trying to catch a plane in midair.
I'm from Detroit, home of the real D-boys. We don't need decoys, we cannot be destroyed. My city is brilliant, beautiful, resilient. Hands up for the millions who keep on rebuilding. I'm from Detroit.
Renaissance City in my heart, you're forever kept. I'm willing to take a gamble like I've got nothing left to bet. That we can make our city nothing less than the best of yet to come. We are the future, nothing like anything that you used to. If greatness is a beat, then let's be the producers. The fruits of our labor will always be worth the soup for the youth of tomorrow. Let's soup up.
When it seems like we're at the end of our road, once our dreams start to happen, don't lose your hope. We can bring back the shine we rightfully own. Every D-boy come back one more time, here we go. I'm from Detroit, home of the real D-boys. We don't need decoys, we cannot be destroyed. My city is brilliant, beautiful, resilient. Hands up for the millions who keep on rebuilding. I'm from Detroit. I'm from Detroit. I'm from Detroit. I'm from Detroit. I'm from Detroit.
This is the Medical Marijuana Radio Network.
Parents, you're certainly going to want to listen to this one. More teenagers are smoking marijuana. That is according to a survey of 47,000 students conducted by researchers at the University of Michigan. Now, according to the study, 1 out of every 15 high school seniors admit to smoking pot on a daily basis. Now, that is the highest rate since 1981. Researchers say drug use goes down when teens perceive a particular drug as being dangerous. Apparently, marijuana does not have the same fear factor as it did years ago.
A renewed push tonight in Lansing to link welfare benefits to clean drug tests. A Republican representative from Utica is pitching it. Under the bill, drug tests would be used to determine eligibility for the state's Family Independence Program. Representative Jeff Farmington says people applying for jobs in the private sector have to take drug tests, and he believes people in public assistance should face the same scrutiny.
Countdown to launch. The medical marijuana
Launch commit.
radio show.
Guidance is internal. Ignition sequence start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. Power cleared.
The medical marijuana radio show is a production of the Medical Marijuana Radio Network.
You tuned in to that medical marijuana show. 855 Triple M Radio. Keep it legal, keep it legal, keep it legal, keep it legal. Hey. You tuned in to that medical marijuana show. 855 Triple M Radio. Keep it legal, keep it legal.
Hey folks, we're all by myself today. Denise will be back this weekend.
Okay, Steve is the host with the co-host Denise. Starting at noon Saturdays every week. Yes, we keeping you legal. Legislators and lawyers, doctors and the growers. The show is for the people. Michigan medical marijuana, no hassle. We talk about anything, any issue we can handle. Call us up and let us know what is on your mind. And make sure when you do it legal every time. Hey. You tuned in to that medical marijuana show.
Welcome to another medical marijuana radio show for, what is this, Thursday? Thursday, 12/15, that's December 15th, 2011. I'm patient and caregiver, media man extraordinaire, Steve Greene. Kicking ass and taking some names today in the medical marijuana field. Welcome to the show. If you want to call the program today, 810-423-2350. It is a toll number. In moments, we'll have the toll-free number back on. It's the 855 Triple M Radio. You won't be able to get us at that number today. Let's call the 810-423-2350 number if you want to be on the program. If you're listening live, it's approximately just after 2:30 in the afternoon on Thursday. If you're listening on the iTunes or if you're listening one of our taped formats, you'll not be able to call the program, obviously. We hope that you'll get a chance to tune in one day while we're live and tune in and participate, because we need to hear from you. If we don't hear from you, then how do we know you're there? How do we know that there's something important going on? I'll put the screen on for a second so you can see I'm a real person. Hey, here I am. If you're just listening to the audio portion of this broadcast, you won't be able to see the screen. But we have screens. There's another angle. Let me see. Let's do this. Push the button. There we go. Look, I'm over here now. Look, I'm over here. But this is why I put the screen up, because it's not necessary to see all that stuff right now. It's just not necessary. Studio's a mess, for crying out loud. It's not important what you're seeing anyways. It's what you're hearing. When there isn't something important for you to see, then we don't put it on. If there's something important to see, then we put it up. So that's how the program runs. And we're glad to be expanding. Oh, boy, have we been expanding. And I'm not going to bore you with those details. But just be aware the program is getting much, much bigger in the background. As you know, if you're a regular listener to this show, it's been a speck. It's just been a tiny thing. But it's gotten much, much bigger. And so we're speaking to a broader audience. So keep that in mind as you partake of the fare we offer on this program. Today, we're talking about a bunch of stuff. Principally being, I've been on top of this thing with this letter. This is just a state of Michigan thing. So you guys around the rest of the country, pardon me while we talk about this thing that's happening in the state of Michigan. But, if you're in California or Nevada or Arizona or New Mexico, any of these other places where they have medical marijuana laws, especially if you're in the western states, you guys are a little more protected out there, just a little bit, because you've got the Supreme Court on your side by having not picked up the U.S. Court of Appeals decision that says California's law can stand hand in hand with federal law. They don't object with each other. And that local law enforcement officials in western district states don't have the option of just relying on the federal law because they like it better. They're there to enforce state law. Are you hearing this, Mr. Shooty? Are you hearing this, Billy Bong? I'm going to put the camera back up because now I gotta speak into the camera. Are you hearing this, Billy Bong? Mr. Shooty, hello, ring-a-ding-ding. Are you hearing this? I think he is. He's hearing this. I know he's hearing it. Now, not necessarily me, but he's hearing this whole thing about federal illegality. Because it's his, let me just say, if you're not familiar with it now, that Mr. Shooty in this state, our Attorney General, Billy Bong, we call him Billy Bong because he used to smoke pot back in college and high school. Billy Bong, apparently marijuana is the gateway to the Attorney General's office. It's a gateway drug to the Attorney General's office. You want to be the Attorney General? Smoke some pot. Mr. Billy Bong won't tell you that, but I will. The Attorney General in this state wants to see his name up there on the billboard. Bill Shooty versus the United States of America. He wants to see that up there. Or even better yet, Bill Shooty on behalf of the United States of America. That's what he wants to see. But he's not a U.S. representative. He's a state law enforcement official. He's supposed to enforce our state law. We created one. He doesn't like it. So he's trying to enforce it in a way that makes it untenable, in a way that makes it unworkable. He's going to say the law was unworkable to begin with. That's what he'd tell you. I'll just argue as a devil's advocate here. So Mr. Shooty would like to say, no, this law itself was just not going to work. It's illegal federally, and so it can't be a state law. Mr. Shooty has a significant financial stake in this. Dow Chemical. His family's, deep into Dow Chemical. He's an heir to that fortune. Dow's in Midland. Guess where Mr. Shooty's from? Midland, Michigan. You know the scrubbing bubbles you see on TV? That's Bill Shooty, the scrubbing bubbles. That's him. Mr. Shooty in state government here in Michigan and Dow Chemical and he would like to see him in national government as the meat puppet for Dow, as the installation to make sure that all things Dow are codified. In other words, it's going to hit the bottom line of the investors and shareholders of Dow Chemical. If hemp, marijuana, any form of the medicine or the textile are made available to the mass public. It's just a fact. I'll give you an example. Alcohol people are rallying against this. The Beer Retailers Association knows that in states where medical marijuana laws have been passed, that alcohol consumption is down by a whopping 9%. 9%. Oh, that's significant. That's almost 10% of a company's bottom line as it relates to alcohol sales. That's a big chunk when you're talking millions and millions, even billions of dollars. That's too much money. They can't give that up. That's just the beer guys. Not to mention the chemical guys and the pharmaceutical guys. They all hate this. Mr. Shooty is the mouthpiece of that group. At least as it relates to Dow. At least as it relates to Michigan. He'd like to see this on behalf of the whole country. But the fact of the matter remains that Mr. Shooty is going against his own party line. State rights is what Republicans stand for. Mr. Shooty's a Republican. Look, when you want to argue about gun law, the Republicans will tell you every time states have the right to make their own laws here. Heck with this federal ban stuff. We got states' rights. States' rights, guns. Screw you. That's what you'd say. But the moment you talk about marijuana, no, the federal law says, he wants to start arguing federal law now. And the fact of the matter is none of these guys are federal officers. None of them you have to obey federal law, probably. Is it absolutely necessary? Can you have state laws that are contradictory to federal law? To some extent, apparently, yes, says the Supreme Court. Mr. Shooty would like that argument on the Eastern District as well, with his name as a part of that argument. He'd like to be making that argument. And see if he can get the Eastern District courts to agree in their district that federal law is supreme here. You can't have state laws that are not aligned with federal law. If he can get that stated and upheld in the federal level in the courts, then he'll force the U.S. Supreme Court to take this up, because now they've got two, because they denied picking up the Western case. The Western case stood in the favor of patients and caregivers in California in the Western District. that side of the Mississippi. But that's not the way it is here on the eastern side. So you guys got a little bit of protections as it relates to the Supreme Court decision. On the east side, we don't have that. Mr. Schuette in Michigan would like to be that man. And we're just not going to, maybe he will be that man. But I have a feeling we're going to rush some stuff in that's going to, upset his apple cart anyways. I can tell you that DJ Medspliff released a song. Who is DJ Medspliff? I don't know. I'm not going to tell you. You can figure it out for yourself. DJ Medspliff just released a song on iTunes. It's the Billy Bong song. If you get a chance, check it out. Look for Billy Bong. Just search Billy Bong in your iTunes folder. You'll see the picture of Bill Schuette with horns. It says DJ Medspliff, the Billy Bong song. Look for it. We're working to end these conflicts, and that's what that song's about. Steph Shearer said those words, and she's quoted frequently in the song. So's Mr. Schuette. Oh, I picture Bill Schuette with, rocking glow sticks when this song plays. Oh, his forehead's going to meet the ceiling with a fireball when he sees this come across his desk that they've released this song with this imagery attached. You can thank me. It looks like we've got a call coming in. Hello, you're on the Medical Marijuana Radio Show.
Hey, Steve, it's Ken from Nevada. How you doing?
Hey, Ken, it's Sharky.
Yeah, that's it, Sharky.
Welcome to the program, sir. Sharky, for those of you who are not familiar with Sharky, he is, where are you at? You're in Colorado, right?
Well, no, I'm in Nevada now.
You're in Nevada.
Yep. I'm a medical cannabis patient here and a former medical cannabis patient for about 6 years in California.
Okay, and now you've agreed, for people who are not familiar with Sharky, he's agreed to do some, long-distance production for this show, being a producer. He's lining up some interviews. And I did finally did you get the Hotmail up and working, Ken?
Mm-hmm. No, semi.
Semi? Well, I did get an email from you, and it has the address of a gentleman in the UK.
That's the man. His name is actually Peter Reynolds. He's the head of Clear in the UK, which is a political party that are having some elections very shortly, and they're trying to legalize cannabis across the board. And he's very important to the movement there, and getting a lot of people active and getting a lot of things done out there. A very important thing to do, actually, because of everything that the federal government is doing to close down access to sick people.
Well, and it's not just a federal thing. I think people don't get the one world order of things here. And I'm going to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but I'm really not. I follow facts. As a guy that does news, as a guy that's an investigative reporter and that looks at facts and details and tries to connect the dots, and then double sources information to make sure that it's correct and accurate, so that when you look at it from a number of angles, it's the same beast. It's not an optical illusion. It's not a mirage. It's not somebody feeding you a line of crap. It's not a story. It's the truth. And so when you look at this kind of information from that angle, there is a one world order view of this. There is, I'll just name some organizations. What's the organization? It's oh, good Lord, I'm going to miss the name of I'm going to have to look it up during the commercial break. But it has to do with commerce in the United States. And what these guys do, if you look at the people who are in control of money, and these are kind of like the 1%er guys, across the world. These are the guys that want to have control, a one world order, a federal government, a world government. And they're trying to do it through the United Nations. And this whole view, these people are out there. I'm not saying that they've got any power yet or that they're going to soon, but I'm saying that this whole thing plays into that. We'll talk about this and more with Sharky on the Medical Marijuana Radio Show. Don't go away.
We'll be right back on the Medical Marijuana Radio Show. The Medical Marijuana Radio Network.
The law offices of Targowski and Grow remind you to stand up for your rights. Always treat law enforcement with respect, but if you're detained or arrested, stand up for your rights by repeating, I respectfully invoke all of my legal and constitutional rights. I do not consent to any search or seizure. I want to remain silent, and I want to talk to my attorneys, John Targowski and Daniel Grow. Targowski and Grow have the education and experience you need to be successful in Michigan courts. Call Targowski and Grow toll-free, 800-957-1069. The law offices of Targowski and Grow, 800-957-1069.
If you are a carded Michigan medical marijuana patient with a need for safe access but have reservations about privacy and discretion, there is an answer. It's the Ant Farm. The Ant Farm is Metro Detroit's trusted professional mobile transfer service. Write this toll-free number down, 888-369-3320. Lab-tested, mold and pesticide-free. It's the Ant Farm's convenient you'll try, but quality standards, privacy, and friendly professionals that will bring you back. The Ant Farm comes to you. Call for discreet details right away. 888-369-3320. Hey, Steve Greene here for the medical marijuana certifications at AMMP. They're the American Medical Marijuana Professionals. You'll find them just north of Utica Road on Gratiot in Roseville. Their address is 28349. Now, call-ins are welcome, but you're better off calling for an appointment. They have a toll-free number, 877-RX-420-99. That's 877-RX-420-99 for American Medical Marijuana Professionals. That's AMMP on Gratiot in Roseville. The patient's place for medical marijuana and safe access is Third Coast. Beautiful downtown Ypsilanti is where you can get safe, affordable access to education and materials concerning your specific needs, and quality products designed to meet your exacting needs. It's the Third Coast, 19 North Hamilton in Ypsilanti. Convenient hours, friendly, professional, compassionate. Call Third Coast today, 734-487-5402. That's the Third Coast Compassion Center in downtown Ypsilanti, 734-487-5402.
The Greene Collective.
Hey, medical marijuana patients, it's time to discover what all the buzz is about in Ann Arbor.
The Greene Collective.
The Green Bee Collective is busy making sure your patient needs are met with high-quality, locally grown meds.
The Greene Collective.
Get to know the information, the research, the benefit available to your condition.
The Greene Collective.
Weekly specials in just minutes from downtown Ann Arbor and I-94.
The Greene Collective.
The details are sweet at MMMGreenBee.com. Call 734-929-2553 now.
It's the Medical Marijuana Radio Show.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Time to decorate the tree. Hang up the mistletoe. Give gifts. Keep that
Hey, Merry Christmas to you. Happy holidays from the Medical Marijuana Radio Show.
Hey, what you want?
I hope you got some green under the tree this year. I hope it's all working out for you.
Deck the halls with bout of holly.
Hell yeah. So it's just before 3 o'clock in the afternoon. With me on the phone, I'm talking to Sharky. Sharky's producing for the show. Sharky says he's in Nevada. I keep saying Colorado. You're in Nevada, yes?
Yeah, I'm right outside of Area 51.
You're out there with the Skunk Works, right?
Well, we're at, you find your first abandoned mine with the graveyard around it. We're right next door.
I always wanted to open up a dispensary in Nevada called the Skunk Works. I think that would be funny. I don't think that the guys that are getting military contracts from the U.S. government would be so funny about that. I think they'd be like, "Hey, that's our trademark. Get away. You can't mix up the pot and peat message with the defense contractor message."
Well, honestly, tell you the truth, a dispensary, a compassionate club around here would be a great thing because of the meth and the alcohol addiction rate up here is unbelievable. I would estimate about 75% of the townspeople are either have been in prison because of it or on parole.
Have you seen the little utensils that people use to smoke concentrates with, hash or hash oil?
Sure.
You got the little glass rods. It's called a glow stick. You heat it up with a torch and then you plunge it in there and it turns the oil into a vapor.
It's a fancy way, what we used to call back in the 70s, a tin and a glass.
Right. Well, they used to do that hash under glass. Right.
Exactly.
But this is just heating up a hot rod, a glass rod, and plunging it into the actual oil, and it turns it into a smoke, and then that's what you inhale that way. So
it's absolutely marvelous as a medicine.
It's terrific.
Personally, handling the torches, I get a little nervous.
It is. Well, I can do it. The reason
I have MS.
I know.
So,
that would bother me too. If I was concerned about my muscular control over while handling a torch or any dangerous item, I would be concerned as well. The reason I bring the point up is this. I live in a mobile home community, and I know the guys that are the guys that do maintenance in the park. And so one of the guys approaches me as I'm rolling through to get the mail one day, and he's, hey, come here. I'm like, okay, so I stop, and he hands me a bunch of glass rods. And he's like, I know you have the hash oil thing that you use. I found these glass rods. Maybe you could use those. Well, and you were talking about the meth labs. Dude, that's what these things were. These were glass rods from somebody had a meth lab up in here, I think.
Absolutely.
Because they were stir rods from a chemistry set. And some of these glass rods weren't rods at all. They had little spoons at the bottom. So they were for measuring chemistry. And I'm telling you, nobody's got a chemistry set up in here for high school labs in this mobile home community. I can tell you that was likely somebody's meth lab equipment that they had left behind in a trailer.
At least they're taking it home, unlike that lady in Texas, I believe. She was doing it in a Walmart.
She was doing meth in a Walmart?
She was making it.
Oh, she was making it in the Walmart.
Yeah, she couldn't afford to buy the chemicals, so she decided to clear off a shelf and make it there. She was there for 6 hours.
She was there making meth inside the Walmart
for 6 hours, and then one of the alert security guards after 6 hours decided to call the police, and that's what they did. And weird enough, one of the police officers burned himself trying to remove the chemicals himself. And but
it's not funny because they turned that Walmart into probably an area that needs to be decontaminated. I mean, that's a chemical disaster going on there.
Most likely.
Where did you get the Bunsen burner at? That's what I want to know.
You don't need it. You just mix certain chemical. I don't know the recipe. I've never done it.
I don't know. I've never. All I know is that I do know it requires.
I do know. Mix the chemicals and it.
I don't know. Look, I'm not going to tell people how to make meth, but what I'm saying is, because I don't know how, but I've seen some of this the methodology, and it requires a flame, and it requires very volatile chemicals that are very toxic.
She set up a nice little chemistry lab in the Walmart. It's all over the internet.
Look, they need hazmat crews. These guys, they come in and do raids at these meth labs. They come in. They don't come in just in their ATF masks. They come in. They look like they're from ET because they got the big chemistry suit on. They go in there because it's definitely a toxic area, and this is what's dangerous to kids. If you want to talk about danger to kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
Watch them walking around with some of that red iodine and some of that stuff. That stuff's dangerous stuff. It's explosive. It's toxic by its very nature. It's cancer-causing. You can't inhale it. You can't touch it. It might blow up. It's just definitely dangerous.
Well,
but I just wanted to say, you were talking about how dangerous meth is and stuff. My whole point was that business about the plunge rod. Mm-hmm. That you're right. Here I am, just a friendly, kindly, humble medical marijuana guy. I'm a patient and a caregiver. I definitely grow. But I do it under every cautionary detail possible. I would never expose children or anybody else to danger. Look, I'm a proponent of children. I love kids.
Absolutely.
They're our future, for crying out loud. I would never misdirect children. For somebody like Bill Schuette or anybody else, Eric Holder or anybody else, to direct this audience as somehow being a danger to kids, it just incenses me. Or to say that churches are somehow offended by this.
Have never dealt with addiction correctly in this country. And that's the main problem. They're breaking up families. They're not keeping them together.
Look, most of the places, have you seen the no-knock raid video? I'm sure you have with Lindy.
Absolutely. I can't watch it anymore.
I can't either. I can't. But see, but if you watch the end of that video, it shows you 70. And this video was done last year. 70 to 80,000 of those kind of raids go down every year in the United States of America. Now, mind you, also let's keep in mind our prison population and the overall population. We have 5% of the world's population here in the country. 5% of the people that exist on the planet are here in the United States. We have 30% of the entire world's prison population. 30% of the prisoners on the face of the planet exist behind bars here in the States. That doesn't say that we have more criminals here. It just says that we're a little meaner here. And it's awfully hard for us to point our fingers at the guys, rolling tanks over guys standing in front of them at Tiananmen Square in China. When you got 30% of the population, human rights over there, human rights. Most favored nation, we're going to put that at risk over human rights. It's hard to say that when you're sending all your wealth over there from Walmart at Christmas time every year. And at the same time, you've got this prison issue overhanging us. And most of that population are nonviolent drug offenders.
Well, they're trying to they actually have privatized prison systems, and now they're trying to privatize the drug war, which will just lead to many more people being hurt, innocent grandmas sitting in their apartments. And just the type-style raids that you just mentioned, they'll come in, they'll shoot her dog, and ask questions later. There is no investigations going on to any of these raids. They meet up at a donut shop, they get their mask on, and they break in. And they use the flimsiest of evidence. If they even have evidence, they use many drug-addled informers these days.
Or look, if they don't even have a drug informant,
into
here's how they do it. Here's how they do it, at least in this state. I'm not sure if they do it elsewhere, but if they don't have an informant and they want to give themselves probable cause, in this state you're allowed to use an anonymous tip. So they'll just send a policeman down to the end of the street and phone in an anonymous tip to the police department, and then they'll conduct the raid. They'll use that. They'll use that as evidence, the anonymous tip, to go into a judge and or a magistrate and get a search warrant, and then they'll bang the door and kill the dog and do the whole 9 yards.
That's right. If they can't get one way, they'll get into your house the other way. I had many problems with code enforcement coming in to check my house, in quotes, okay, and basically taking pictures of my family and pictures that I had hanging on the walls of my family, things that mementos I have on the shelves, personal items. Why? Because if they see a pipe on the shelf, well, probable cause. There they go. And it works. It absolutely works.
Well, and this has got to stop in this country. It's got to stop because not only is it farcical, but it's not a tenable situation. This is not a sustainable business model. The part of the population that's not in prison can no longer afford to maintain the population that is in prison. And when they're nonviolent guys, I said, let them be. Look, if they're guys that are going to hurt you, if they're guys that are going to, break into your home and hurt you, put those guys in prison. Keep those guys in check. But if you got some guy off in the corner killing himself with whatever, I don't care. I'm not willing to pay $36,000 a year to stick him behind bars. I don't care. Look, the end of his problem is coming anyways. It's called death. Let him die over there. I'm serious.
The police are profiting off of drug-related arrests, and who are they going to come after? Who's the easiest people to come after?
The low-hanging fruit is obviously the medical marijuana guys. Well, this all ties back into the same thing. If you look at Sharmi Golson from the Midwest Cultivator here in Michigan, has put together a tremendous set of facts. She is a person that works on the national level with reforming marijuana law. And it just has, and it's not necessarily medical marijuana law. She's definitely a legalist. She wants to legalize. She's a free the weed person for sure. But the point of the matter is that since the drug war was begun, beginning with the Nixon mandate back in the early 70s, since that drug war began, his announcement of it, and actually in about 76, he announced a big drug war. And then Reagan underscored it and put new things into effect. And then Bush Sr., the older Bush, did the same thing, did some more things. And then Bush Sr. also took people out of the pilot medical marijuana program federally. He's like, no, we're not going to let you guys just run in and get medical pot because you want to claim it as we had this program, but I can't believe they did this. We shut it down.
Well, Steve, the whole list of people that you just named are the biggest list of killers, murderers, and thieves in the history of our country. So,
yeah, but look, even Democrats and Republicans alike uphold Ronald Reagan as some kind of, Pope-like figure when it comes to government.
Is there any difference?
Yeah,
is there any difference in either party, really?
No, there's not. But what I'm saying is this: don't be fooled by the two-party system here in the States, because it's a lot of crap. The two parties think they're in control, and they want to pull this smoke and mirrors stuff on you about who's in control, and they want you to argue politics. This is the same thing. This is all smoke and mirrors because they're not really in control whatsoever. The guys with the money are in control. The guys, it's the people who are occupying Wall Street now. It's their enemy. That's who's in control. That 1%, the ones that have more money than everybody else on the earth put together. Those are the guys who are in control.
Country, there's nothing wrong with making an honest buck. But when you are using your bucks to control other people, that is where I have an issue.
Well, sure, because it's authoritarian. It undermines the entire political ideal of having a democratic republic, which is what this country is.
Exactly.
If you're going to have a populist-ruled government with people with representative government, then you got to have people that are actually doing the representation of the people. That's no longer what we have in this country.
Well,
and the moment the moment the Supreme Court said in this country that people are corporations, that corporations are people, and they're entitled to the same free speech, and that you can't limit dollars into campaigns, they just opened the floodgates to corruption, and you've just doomed this country to disaster, because that means that we're no longer, as people, deciding what policy is based on what people think it should be, but the guys who are in control of the money are creating policy to create more money to make themselves more wealthy and not looking out for the people. And this is just a symptom. This whole medical marijuana fight, this whole illegality of marijuana as in general, is all just a symptom of that bigger problem.
Absolutely. Absolutely, I agree. It's a big problem to us because we're sick people, okay? But to other people, to them, it's just another part of a giant mountain of problems that we're having.
Right.
Which, will begin and end reforming, governments from the local end to the federal and even around the globe. And I'm not saying I'm all for a global government, but globally, people need to learn to work together, even if they have their own separate cultures, which is great.
Look,
Okay.
from a global standpoint, a number of world leaders have come together and said this business about this treaty about marijuana being illegal under because this is, global.
Many presidents, many.
Look, globally, the only reason this is illegal in most other countries is because they signed a treaty that the U.S. government basically forced other countries to sign about the illegality of marijuana.
Absolutely.
And so they're saying, look, you want some foreign aid? If you want our foreign aid, you better sign this treaty because we're not likely to give it to you otherwise. Because you're doing something we don't like, we're in disagreement with.
A lot of people have started their own, have gone away from U.S. policy.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Venezuela is a good example. They've made their own way in the world, and they've become a very viable.
I don't want to give examples because it's going to make our conversation too long about the subject. We're going to get way off branched. What I wanted to point out is that the world organizations that we're talking about, and remember I told you I was going to dig it up during the break. I couldn't think of the organization involved that is a national organization where there's power in place. Mm-hmm. It's the Council of Foreign Relations. The Council on Foreign Relations. If you look at our presidents, if you look at a lot of people with just money. The Jane Fondas of the world, the Ted Turners of the world, all the news guys, all the media organizations, they all belong. They're all members on the Council of Foreign Relations. Mm-hmm. These are the people that are putting things and policies into place both at the world level, at the United Nations. They would like to see the United Nations become a world government. That's what the whole intention of the UN was in the first place. Look, even the people who donated the land for that location. Where the Rockefellers donated the land where the UN sits. They had particular interests about elitist organizations. They're elitists. All these people on the Council of Foreign Relations are elitists. And those are the people that, if you look at them, they're the politicians here. They're the politicians and they're the people with money. And they're the people who want to make a statement. Now, I'm not saying that they're not both Democrats and Republicans or conservatives and liberals. They're all part of that. But what I'm saying is this is part of the evidence of why this two-party system and the big, we're more divided in this country, more polarly divided than we've ever been before. This is why we're spending so much money in these presidential campaigns. More than ever before. Every single year we spend more and more money on these campaigns. It's, again, a farce, and it's not sustainable. Where are you supposed to keep raising this money every 4 years? Where's it supposed to be coming from? The backs of the poor people? No, it's coming from these rich guys. It's coming from, the guys who own Amway. It's coming from the Walmarts of the world. It's coming from other places. The Council on Foreign Relations has foreigners on it. Hello.
Well, the hardest part will always be to, how to make politicians not get too powerful or to be corrupted. And it's been like that since the dawn of time. How can we? Now, our founding fathers had a system which was brilliant, okay, but they're leaving the Constitution or not abiding by it. And it's not a government, it's a sensible government I'm looking for. I'm not looking for no government because that's anarchy.
Right.
Okay, I'm just looking for sensible policies. And you're absolutely right. How do we get these people that have been entrenched in power for so many years? They're not just going to give it up. And we can see how they squash the use of hemp in this country, the use of recreational drugs as a racist tool to build a prison complex system of slavery.
Well, let's just look at this. Let me just, because you're in another part of the country, but it's just for the benefit of our local listeners here in Michigan, because we got a lot of them here. Right. I blast out to a lot of the Facebook guys here. They're listening. I can see they're listening. The way that this ties in here is as it relates to Bill Schuette, our Attorney General, and the way he's kind of disassembled this. He's part of this elitist people. He's part of this. He's part of this big money that's into this to skew this in their favor. Here, if you just
part of the chemical company DuPont or something.
It's Dow Chemical. Dow, the scrubbing bubbles. You know what I mean? Dow Chemical, Dow Corning. It's all Dow. If you're looking at polyester, you're looking at Dow. If you're looking at all these chemicals and textiles come, household cleaners, all these things come from Dow, a lot of them. Their patents far and wide. And Dow Chemical also has alliances and ties with pharmaceutical companies who are, again, looking at the benefits being reaped by this one basic, easy-to-grow plant. So this is where the farce is. You've got these elitists doing this kind of stuff. And when we come back from break, because Ken, we're about to go to break. So hang on with us, Sharky. I'll come back and read you this letter. I've done it before, but I want to do it again because we're talking about this locally and what this means. More to come up on the Medical Marijuana Radio Show. Call us at 810-423-2350.
Got something to say?
Call now toll free. 855-MMM Radio. The Medical Marijuana Radio Network.
The Greene Collective.
Hey, medical marijuana patients, it's time to discover what all the buzz is about in Ann Arbor.
The Greene Collective.
The Green Bee Collective is busy making sure your patient needs are met with high-quality, locally grown meds.
The Greene Collective.
Get to know the information, the research, the benefit available to your condition.
The Greene Collective.
Weekly specials in just minutes from downtown Ann Arbor and I-94.
The Greene Collective.
The details are sweet at MMMGreenBee.com. Call 734-929-2553 now. The patient's place for medical marijuana and safe access is Third Coast. Beautiful downtown Ypsilanti is where you can get safe, affordable access to education and materials concerning your specific needs, and quality products designed to meet your exacting needs. It's the Third Coast, 19 North Hamilton in Ypsilanti. Convenient hours, friendly, professional, compassionate. Call Third Coast today, 734-487-5402. That's the Third Coast Compassion Center in downtown Ypsilanti, 734-487-5402.
It's the holiday season when we look back in our lives, when we're spending time with our families, where we look back and appreciate the things that have happened throughout the year, and then look forward to the things that are coming. So it's in that spirit of the holiday season that the Medical Marijuana Radio Show proudly announces the first annual Michigan Medical Marijuana Achievement Awards. This is a time where you can honor somebody who's rolled up their sleeves and done something good for the community. The Achievement Awards are a fundraiser. Go ahead, do it right now. Nominate a friend for an award at RadioWeedShow.com. Hey, Steve Greene here for the Medical Marijuana Certifications at AMMP. They're the American Medical Marijuana Professionals. You'll find them just north of Utica Road on Gratiot in Roseville. Their address is 28349. Now, call-ins are welcome, but you're better off calling for an appointment. They have a toll-free number, 877-RX-420-99. That's 877-RX-420-99 for American Medical Marijuana Professionals. That's AMMP on Gratiot in Roseville. Medical Marijuana Certification. And now you can find out everything you need to know online at getpotid.com. Or write down this toll-free number, 855-DOC-CERT. A friendly specialist will direct you to our Farmington Hills office. Medical Marijuana Certification. GetPotID.com. It's the key to getting your card. Information, resources, and in the end, if you're qualified, a medical card. Call toll-free right now, 855-DOC-CERT. That's 855-DOC-CERT. It's GetPotID.com. The law offices of Targowski & Grow remind you to stand up for your rights. Always treat law enforcement with respect, but if you're detained or arrested, stand up for your rights by repeating, I respectfully invoke all of my legal and constitutional rights. I do not consent to any search or seizure. I want to remain silent, and I want to talk to my attorneys, John Targowski and Daniel Grow. Targowski & Grow have the education and experience you need to be successful in Michigan courts. Call Targowski & Grow toll-free, 800-957-1069. The law offices of Targowski & Grow, 800-957-1069. Hallelujah! Hallelujah! Let's be thankful. Merry Christmas, happy holidays to you. What do we have to be thankful for? I don't know. I think we got a lot to be thankful for. I'm going to be thankful for all the things that I have in this world outside of what's being squashed on by our Attorney General Bill Schuette, Billy Bong, BS. You notice his initials are BS. Marijuana, it's the gateway drug to the Attorney General's office, and he'll tell you all kinds of crap. But he just the more he talks like this, the more he sounds like a crackpot to me. I'm just gonna let go on that. I want to play the crackpot stuff. I can't resist it. I got to do it. So I'm just gonna. Oh, he's gonna be so mad, Sharky. He's gonna be pissed off like you won't believe when he starts to see that we released the Billy Bong song. He's gonna be so mad.
We know how he can relieve his anger. We all know how he can feel better and be a better person.
Yeah, he says he used to smoke the pot back in college and high school. I just think he does it still.
They all have. They all have.
You know,
they all have smoked it, and it's just an unbelievable hypocrisy that what is going on with the politicians in this country. And they're all alike. Do they come out from one mold? I mean, is there a hole somewhere that they all crawl out of? I don't know. All I know is they're all wearing black now. They're all, they're looking pretty evil. Is that on purpose?
This law has been hijacked. This law has been hijacked by Captain Crunch. It's been pirated by Sesame Street and Children's Television Workshop. I gotta play the thing now. Here we go. Is Derek going to play? It's not going to play. Damn it! Here we go. I missed it. Here we go. Here we go.
I mean, come on, folks. Does this sound like a conservative?
Crackpot. Where's the crackpot? Oh, here's the crackpot.
I am not.
Again, you can't hear the effects that I'm playing, but trust me, they're comical. At least I think they are.
I'm sure he's loving it.
So I wanted to tell people. First of all, coming out of the commercial break, I'm a little remiss that I left one of my sponsors out. It's Kogo's Original Cannabis Formula Nutrients. I can tell you can buy. It's a simple A and B formula nutrient system. You can buy 2 1-gallon jugs. It's a gallon of A and a gallon of B. You mix them in equal parts. It makes over 600 gallons of nutrients, for both gallons for less than $100. You want to get it? I'm telling you, I've got the best grow ever, and I've been using his formula now for a few grows. It's the best grow ever. Replace all those expensive nutrients from the guys that are just, selling you marketing campaigns. Do it by calling him now. 517-375-8998. That's him directly. Get the guy, Ray Kogo. It's licensed by the Department of Agriculture in the state of Michigan for growing medical cannabis. Get it. It's the best thing you'll ever get. But trust me on that note. There's the other note, Sharky, that I wanted to make note of. As it relates to advertisers, I should shut up altogether. Because it seems that, at least in this state, the clubs, the dispensaries, the doctor shops, any of these places that have been advertising, those are the ones getting targeted. Those are the ones getting closed. He says in his little Bill Schuette Clearing the Air seminar, then this relates back to the letter I'm about to read to you in moments. I'm revealing some stuff right now. I'm doing some undercover reporting. You're here to hear first. This business about the Attorney General doing this Clearing the Air seminar, these places were raided, and part of what he said at this seminar was this, that you're profiteering. If you're doing advertising in any way, this isn't nonprofit, it's profiteering. Let me just argue that this way. That in this state, Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Michigan is a nonprofit organization. You see their ads all over the place all the time. You see United Way, you see the Bell Shakers out there right now in front of the Walmarts at Christmas time. Who's that? That's the Salvation Army. They're nonprofit. Tell me they're not advertising. Tell me that they're not public service announcements going up. Some of them are paid, some of them are not. They're still advertising. Are those guys profiteers, Mr. Schuette? Let's see, the guy who's at the head of those organizations, they're getting paid. It's a nonprofit organization, but they're getting sizable amounts of money. The Red Cross. Those people get paid for being the leaders of those organizations, and they get good money. I'm just saying, Mr. Schuette, if you're going to say that you're targeting pot places in Michigan because they advertise, because somehow that means they're profiteering, let me just turn that argument on its head based on that notion, based on the idea that there's lots of nonprofits that advertise. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan is principally one of them. So I had to get that off my mind. That being said, I'm just wondering if I shouldn't take all of my sponsors off the air and save them the grief of a no-knock raid. That's what I'm concerned about now. If this is how they're going to, spell it out. Now, the letter. I have to read the letter, Ken. But go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Well, I was going to say, look, this industry isn't for the weak anymore. I mean,
it never was. It wasn't for the week before.
I saw the California industry boom and blossom with amateurs, not only from the dispensaries to the growers and to the law enforcement on top of it. It's amateurs. They're not, even the law enforcement isn't doing any investigation on anything. It's just everybody. I don't know what the symptom is. It's lax. It's greed. It's a lot of.
It's
bad
greed.
things.
It's greed. It's plainly greed.
Absolutely.
Just don't take your eye off the pot pie. What I mean by that is the money pie. This is about control of money. Don't you let anybody convince you otherwise. This is strictly about control of money and who gets to have control of it. That's it.
Well, Steve, isn't that the way this world always ran, on money?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
See, it's the compassion that has gone out of humanity. Okay, you can be greedy, you can make money. I mean, this is what this country's all about. But it's how you always, in the end, how it corrupts people. And believe me, look, if I was a billionaire like Ted Turner, I'd be putting all my money into the legalization of it, because it's something that I want, I believe in, and I don't like when people get in my way when I do things. I want to. Somebody's going to kick in my door. I want to fight them. I'm
That's
not
right.
going to sit down. Okay, but that is the way that I am, and unfortunately, the world is not all filled with sharkies. But there are many. Jody Emery, Mark Emery,
right?
Joe Grumbine in California.
I'm putting Joe Grumbine's picture up right now. Joe Grumbine's picture's on the screen right now. Go ahead.
Awesome. Joe Grumbine, he's being attacked by the state, by the county, by the city. He was paying taxes and business licenses in Long Beach, California. They're dragging him through the mud and not allowing him the process that all Americans should be allowed to, a non-biased jury and judge.
Well, let the juries and judges let the juries and judges make their decisions, and let them make them unblindfolded. Don't send them in there like they're going to whack at a piñata with a blindfold and spin them around and confuse them and try and figure out where this is at. Give them the basic information, let the facts be told, and let the jury decide whether or not these people are entitled to a defense under the act in the state you're in.
Wouldn't that be wonderful? Wouldn't that be just wonderful?
It makes me mad because look, if you look at the symbol of justice in the United States, it's on every freaking bar association's card holder everywhere.
Well, let's put it this way, Steve.
Wait a minute, let me finish what I said. It's a lady. It's a lady with a blindfold on. She's got the scales of justice in her hand. She's got a scale in her left hand, a scale in her right hand, and she's got a blindfold on. Justice is supposed to be blind in this country, not deaf.
Well, we all know that. Bottom line is, they spent $3 million trying to prosecute this gentleman, Joe. Over 30 court appearances. There's a lot of overtime involved. There's even becoming some press involved, and we all know, how political people love that press. And, stopping evil drug dealers, that's their thing.
I'm going to run out of time, Joe. I want to read, Sharky, this letter really quick. This is from Bill Schuette. This is how, in this state, they're getting people getting kicked out of the system. All you get in this state and most other states is a defense with your card. That's all you get. It's not making it legal. It's still illegal. They're just giving you a defense in court. That's the idea. They're undermining it by saying, hey, we're going to find you outside of the protections of the law. And so we're going to deny you the defense that's provided in a certain section because you didn't comply with another section. At least that's what they're doing here, and in many ways, they're using the same system in other states. So here's one of the ways they're doing it here. I got a letter from, I'm an HIV patient. I got a letter from my HIV doctor, who's been my doctor for 10 plus years and has been writing, a recommendation based on my condition and based on his relationship with me and the efficacy of marijuana as a medicine for me. Since the program began, he's been an advocate and a proponent of the idea. And since I was the first guy he did it for, he started doing it for a lot of other guys who made the same request. For good reason. We need this. So here's what he says. This is dated the same day as one of Bill Schuette's Clearing the Air seminars, which I believe, I got to confirm it yet, but I believe that my doctor was in attendance of. The secretary reports that the doctor came back from a seminar, came back from a conference, and wrote this letter. And I suggest that the facts point to the idea that he was at this seminar. I'm going to confirm that later today. But here's what the letter says after he comes back from said conference. It says, to my patients, this is dated November 29th, the same day as the seminar, I believe, in Livonia. The Michigan Attorney General has declared the Michigan Medical Marijuana Act to be illegal. Since it's contrary to federal law, which makes possession of marijuana a crime under any circumstance. He has instructed law enforcement officials in Michigan to arrest anyone possessing marijuana, even if they have a card. If I prescribed medical marijuana for you, I would be putting you in harm's way if you were searched by a law enforcement officer and found to be in possession of it. Likewise, I might be construed as being complicit in encouraging criminal behavior for prescribing what the AG has determined or declared to be an illegal substance. For those reasons, I will not prescribe medical marijuana until this controversy is resolved. In the meantime, if you have weight loss, uncontrolled nausea, or pain related to your illness, I can legally prescribe to you refined cannabis, which isn't exactly the truth. It's actually synthetic cannabis, and it doesn't do you any good, which is Marinol, which is said to be helpful, though perhaps not as helpful as marijuana. I apologize for this circumstance, but hope that you'll understand the position that the unprecedented act of the Attorney General has placed us in. Sincerely yours, Dr. Charles Craig. Now, Dr. Craig is an infectious disease specialist. He's a doctor, an MD, an FACP, an FIDSA, and an FCCP. These are all medical degrees he's got behind his name. And I have a bona fide doctor-patient relationship, have since the beginning of this program began. I've never hidden from this. And now my doctor, as a direct result of confrontation from the AG's office, will no longer be my bona fide doctor in this patient relationship. I've got to go find another doctor who's now going to be a pot doc. And he's going to find out that when they take me, if they ever go to court, they're going to say I don't have a bona fide doctor-patient relationship. And or in this state, say that you've got to have a doctor-patient relationship that's legal under the Act to get your protection, but then scare your bona fide doctor-patient relationship out of existence. Ken, we're going back to break. I'm sorry I took it up. Hang on. Stick with us for about 4 more minutes. We've got another segment coming up. Got some information on what's coming up on the Medical Marijuana Radio Show, a program coming up immediately following this one on the Medical Marijuana Radio Network.
Next on the Medical Marijuana Radio Show. The Medical Marijuana Radio Network.
The law offices of Targowski and Grow remind you to stand up for your rights. Always treat law enforcement with respect, but if you're detained or arrested, stand up for your rights by repeating, I respectfully invoke all of my legal and constitutional rights. I do not consent to any search or seizure. I want to remain silent, and I want to talk to my attorneys, John Targowski and Daniel Grow. Targowski and Grow have the education and experience you need to be successful in Michigan courts. Call Targowski and Grow toll-free, 800-957-1069. The law offices of Targowski and Grow, 800-957-1069. If you are a carded Michigan medical marijuana patient with a need for safe access but have reservations about privacy and discretion, there is an answer. It's the Ant Farm. The Ant Farm is Metro Detroit's trusted professional mobile transfer service. Write this toll-free number down, 888-369-3320. Lab-tested, mold and pesticide-free. It's the Ant Farm's convenient you'll try, but quality standards, privacy, and friendly professionals that will bring you back. The Ant Farm comes to you. Call for discreet details right away. 888-369-3320. Medical marijuana certification. And now you can find out everything you need to know online at getpotid.com. Or write down this toll-free number, 855-DOC-CERT. A friendly specialist will direct you to our Farmington Hills office. Medical marijuana certification. GetPotID.com. It's the key to getting your card. Information, resources, and in the end, if you're qualified, a medical card. Call toll-free right now, 855-DOC-CERT. That's 855-DOC-CERT. It's GetPotID.com. The patient's place for medical marijuana and safe access is Third Coast. Beautiful downtown Ypsilanti is where you can get safe, affordable access to education and materials concerning your specific needs, and quality products designed to meet your exacting needs. It's the Third Coast, 19 North Hamilton in Ypsilanti. Convenient hours, friendly, professional, compassionate. Call Third Coast today, 734-487-5402. That's the Third Coast Compassion Center in downtown Ypsilanti, 734-487-5402. Hey, Steve Greene here for the Medical Marijuana Certifications at AMMP. They're the American Medical Marijuana Professionals. You'll find them just north of Utica Road on Gratiot in Roseville. Their address is 28349. Now, call-ins are welcome, but you're better off calling for an appointment. They have a toll-free number, 877-RX-420-99. That's 877-RX-420-99 for American Medical Marijuana Professionals. That's AMMP on Gratiot in Roseville.
The Greene Collective.
Hey, medical marijuana patients, it's time to discover what all the buzz is about in Ann Arbor.
The Greene Collective.
The Green Bee Collective is busy making sure your patient needs are met with high-quality, locally grown meds.
The Greene Bee Collective.
Get to know the information, the research, the benefit available to your condition.
The Greene Bee Collective.
Weekly specials in just minutes from downtown Ann Arbor and I-94.
The Greene Bee Collective.
The details are sweet at MMMGreenBee.com. Call 734-929-2553 now.
It's the Medical Marijuana Radio Show.
Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. The Medical Marijuana Radio Show persists. Weekdays, Monday through Friday. You'll catch us during the day sometime. Never can tell exactly when. We're going to send you out a blast. Look at your Facebook thing. You want to find out when we're on the air, you can sign up at RadioWeedShow.com. Sign up as a member. Just register. It's a simple registration process. Put your email address in there. We will never spam you. We'll never send you ads. We're just going to let you know when we're on the air so you can find out. Tune us in on Ustream. Get the Ustream app for your smartphone. You can listen in your car. It's a great way to go. RadioWeedShow.com is where we're located. You'll find all of the information associated with this program and other shows, because this is the Medical Marijuana Radio Network. Right here on this program, on this website. So with us on the phone is Ken. We call him Sharky. That's his name. How'd you get the nickname Sharky, Sharky?
Well, Steve, I was a martial artist and a martial arts instructor for many years, and that is a nickname I came away with. You can figure out why.
You're a bit of a shark, huh?
Well, you know, I had a habit of biting people, you know, in the ass. Not like Mike Tyson.
Really?
In other words, don't mess with me because I'll bite you in the ass.
Oh, I got you. You got a reputation for being a bit of a shark.
Well, you know, basically I was in full contact martial arts for many years, UFC, and also was a professional wrestler for a little while and trainer. And I've been around, you know, and unfortunately the MS as a disability is not aided into my martial arts training. But I keep on going on. I keep on doing yoga, and I spent 30 years learning about the body and how to treat myself. So I don't let any doctor or any police officer or, you know, anybody tell me how to, you know, live my life. It's my life. That's the bottom line.
You should fight it back. You should find other guys with MS that used to be into MMA and have your own league. It'll be the MMA league.
I don't think it'd be too fun watching us twitching around on the floor. You know, I got to tell you, Steve, I'm in this because of the benefits. I've been dealing with this for almost 10 years now, and cancer on top of that.
Oh, good Lord.
Okay, and many years ago I was told that I would be in a wheelchair, I would be drooling in a cup within a year or two. Okay, and they, as in your case, I've been betrayed by many doctors because of I am straight up and transparent of my feelings and what I use for relief.
Look, I'm not saying my doctor betrayed me. My doctor's only betraying me because he's got a knife in his back from Bill Schuette. My doctor's always been my friend.
He took a Hippocratic oath. That is more. If you're taking an oath, it's more important than money. I mean, look, if you really care about people,
okay, but here's. Well, let me just. I'm totally. You're singing to the choir.
I say, look at the example of Dr. Molly Fry.
Wait, before you give the examples, I'm just saying, I'm sympathetic to what you're saying. You're singing to the choir as it relates to,
Absolutely.
I'm on your side, but I just say that when the doctor takes a Hippocratic oath to never do any harm, but then at the same point you got somebody with a knife in your back saying, hey, I'm going to kill you if you don't do some harm, I think you're going to take the option of not being killed, because what he's saying when I say he's got a knife in your back, I'm using an analogy saying, look,
I don't agree.
He's threatening your existence. You can't be a medical doctor. I'm going to take your ability to be a doctor away if you continue to have this behavior. And so
police will take our ability away to breathe, Steve. You know, and you know, my aunt was in the Holocaust, and you know, I can tell you how many times that they tried to do things to her.
It's awful.
And she was helping people escape from Auschwitz for 4 years, okay?
Yeah, it's awful.
And the bottom line is, are we going to allow them to do it again?
Well, they're doing it right now. They're doing it right now. It's just that the gas ovens are the form of bars. They're putting Americans, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of them behind bars.
Absolutely.
These are nonviolent friends and neighbors of yours. They would never harm a hair on your head. They just choose to use a substance that the U.S. government has declared not allowable.
An herb.
Not necessarily an herb. Some of them are other nonviolent drug offenders. I'm not taking.
Well, absolutely. Look, you know, we can mess up anything. In Peru, they've been using coca leaves for energy to work the fields for thousands of years.
I'm not going to make the drug war argument. I'm just saying that I'm looking at a human population. I'm looking at humanitarian issues here. And I can't separate the medical guys from the non-medical guys as it relates to the nonviolent drug population in the prisons. They're the same people. It doesn't matter what classification. They're the same group amongst themselves. So, I'm all about the medical people, and I'm not arguing that cocaine and all these other drugs should be rampant and free. I'm not. I think there needs to be. I would say that there needs to be some examination as to the policy. I'm not saying that you should imprison people and threaten their lives with it. I'm saying it's a public health issue. It's certainly not a criminal justice issue.
Well, addiction is a public health
That's
issue.
correct.
Well,
I'm saying the youth...
people can use many things and not be addicted.
That's right.
People can go have a martini, but not 50.
Just a warning, because you can't tell the music's up. We got about 50 seconds left, Ken.
No problem.
So you're right. You're right. We're aligned on the drug issue. I think it's, I'm not going to claim for other people because I don't think it's a popular notion that drugs should be free and available. That's my personal opinion. I think what you put in your body is your own problem. That's your own deal. Just be aware of it. Look, we got to run, Ken. Thanks for coming on. In moments, you're going to find a copy of the show. It's the Hidden Stash Radio Show. I promised the people over in Muskegon that we play their show. So it's coming up immediately following ours on the Medical Marijuana Radio Network. Thanks for being on the show, Ken. We'll look to talk to you very soon, and we'll talk to hopefully some of these celebrities you've got lined up for us.
My pleasure, Steve. Take care. Have a happy holiday, and I'll talk to you soon.
We'll talk to you very soon. Tune us in on RadioWeedShow.com. Thanks for joining us on the Medical Marijuana Radio Show.
The Medical Marijuana Radio Show and RadioWeedShow.com are trademarks. Copyright 2011.
The Medical Marijuana Radio Network. This is the Medical Marijuana Radio Network.
What's up, everybody? It's Smokey Kush from the Hidden Stash Show. I want to apologize because this show is a little incomplete because Joe Grumbine was in court all day, and he didn't get out until late, so he was not a part of this episode. But I do want you guys to tune in and listen to all the randomness and Douanier. So tune in, and again, I apologize.
420 Radio, WTHC.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to 420 Radio, WTHC's The Hidden Stash Show. I'm Smokey Kush, and tonight I am joined with
Don Kelly,
Carlos Mosqueda,
Clark Ninheiss.
There we go. We have a full studio. We have a full house, actually. It's packed. It's like, wall-to-wall capacity.
Everybody loves the stoner circle tonight.
Yes, we have a new person in the circle. Thank you, Clark, for joining us. Thank you for coming. We appreciate it, man. It's always fun to have new people hanging out and enjoying what we enjoy as well. So what have you guys been up to in this past week?
I'm going first.
Oh,
because I have something exciting this time.
Get it. Let's hear it.
I finally took Carlos's advice and I went to the freak out. Wow, Carlos.
Yeah, I've been telling you. You think I invite people to do something that's Chauncey and lame? No.
I think so.
Those DJs were amazing. What was his name?
Which one?
Mr. Segrin?
DJ Womp Mr. Segrin, yes.
Mr. Segrin.
Cameron, that's his name?
Yeah.
Cameron.
He's amazing.
Mr.
Wow.
Segrin?
Something like that.
I always said it wrong, and then I got corrected, and then now I second-guess myself. I always said it's Mr. Segrin, and so it's Segrin. It's Mr. Segrin, because I was saying it wrong. Yeah, Segrin. I believe, but don't quote me.
He's good.
Yeah, he's the whip.
I'm now in love with dubstep. Thank you very much.
Yeah, careful. There's all different genres. There's drum and bass. There's electronic. There's dubstep, and it's all electronic music though. And it's pretty much all legit, depending on.
It's cool.
What your tempo is.
It's really cool. It's the kind of music where you can close your eyes and.
You can go places.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I wasn't even medicated that night. I was stone cold sober, standing there listening to this music.
SHB.
It was amazing.
He was actually supposed to go second, but Thriver, the guy who was supposed to go first, ended up having to run back home. So I was like, all right, dude, do what you gotta do. But SHB, he killed it. I was really impressed with him. And
Is he the younger guy?
Yeah, the young dude with the long hair, the one that was on there the first time.
Okay.
Started the night out, but I was really impressed with him. We're gonna have him back, and then Thriver, obviously. I mean, that's the third time he's been there, so we're gonna take it easy on him, but definitely keep him within arm's reach, and he'll be coming to the shows. He's a cool cat. I'll be seeing him this Friday. Actually, he's gonna spin at the Dirty Hippie. And then Sammy Ruxpin and Cam finished up with a tag team set, which was just Trump tight. I was really happy with. I mean, I'm always happy with the good music, but it was good. To
I
see
heard
good faces, and then
I heard that they did Change by Deftones and the one that Deftones and Bass Nectar did together.
Prince.
No, not Prince. Maybe that was the one.
Yeah.
I don't know. Biffy told me that they played it after I left. And I was like, "You're kidding me!" Of course, figures.
Yeah. Well, you gotta stay to hear it all.
Look, I was like the oldest girl in that bar.
So. I mean, were you
I was.
Fun?
Hey.
I was the only girl with gray hair. Do you hear me, people?
No, that's not.
Come
true.
on, there's other people in bars with gray hairs.
Yeah, the ones that worked there.
Well, they count too.
No, it was fun though. It was fun. I just stood back and kind of watched the light show and all the freaky people and cool people though. Funny.
What else could you get into this week, Don?
Well, that's the only good thing, so we'll just leave it at that.
Carlos, what about you, my friend?
Well, obviously, was doing that freak out on Friday, and then Saturday kicked it with Brett from Stiley, running from the cops up in North Muskegon.
Really?
Yeah,
I read that.
It's not as serious as but it was just funny. Man, that kid is he's hilarious. That kid's a character. But went up to Main Street, hung out with the Skeet Hound posse, had a little fire, caught some den, and then definitely medicated for show.
For sure.
And then Sunday, I don't know what I did on Sunday. I think I stayed up all night, took a trip, and had a great time. I'm
proud of you.
Thank you. I got a gold star for my weekend. I try to get gold stars every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's keep them up.
Right?
Let's keep those up. We need
Two finger guns. Thriver approved. That kid. He's a cool kid, too. He's funny.
And the thing that gets me is these people that get up there. You're like,
what are you gonna
scratching
do?
your head. What are you gonna do, white boy?
Whoa.
Then I'm like, okay, all right then.
Teeks.
Go on with your get on.
Get on with your get on.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yes. So yeah, we have a pretty good show tonight, folks. We got Dewanye. He was supposed to be in studio, but unfortunately,
they don't gotta know. They didn't know, so that's okay.
Well, I'm just saying. No, I want to let people know.
We won't even tell them. Now they know.
No.
Damn it.
I don't care.
Shiza.
I want to let people know the truth,
Yeah.
man. Quit trying to.
Quit truth's out there, Scully. No, right.
Quit trying to hide the truth, Carlos. Now you're being like the mainstream media, man.
Sorry. Fox got to me, man.
So yeah,
fat checks.
he's gonna be calling in instead of actually being in here, but we're gonna get him in here, and then we're gonna be talking to Joe Grumbine. He's from California, and he got raided, and it became a big deal, and we're gonna find out why. So, yeah.
Sounds good. Sounds good. I think everybody that gets raided should have their case actually examined all the way and get looked at by a fair trial as their peers, not by a trial by their peers, not trial by a bunch of old white dudes that are very conservative. Because that seems to be the way things work out.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's like I've said a million times, man. If you're not going to be around for the decisions that you make, you can't make them. Like, you just can't. Like, if you are John McCain and you're president, you can't tell me that marijuana is illegal because you're not going to be around to support that next few years.
Cold-blooded.
Hey, man, just being truthful.
Unity.
Look at the way they treat us, man. They made collecting rainwater illegal.
Illegal!
Yeah!
That's ludicrous. Alert. That's crazy.
I forgot about that one.
Crazy. It's crazy what they do and what they can say, and that's what goes. So, all right, guys. I think it's time to go to break and maybe check out some of those muffins that we have down there.
Muffins are straight delicious. I want to get in on this Gandalf action. I want to try that out.
I forgot about the Gandalf.
That sounds kind of crazy, but I want some of this Gandalf action.
Yeah, Clark brought a nice Gandalf.
Yay,
Clark!
We're going to the green room and hit the Gandalf. So you guys sit back, and this entire break right here is Dwanya because we're going to be talking to him in a minute. So join us back on 420 Radio, WTHC, The Hidden Stash Show.
That's a record.
I kick it booze down, I put the booze down. I kick it booze down, I put the booze down. So how you gonna kick it? Gonna kick it booze down. Yeah, how you wanna kick it? Gonna kick it booze down. So how you gonna kick it? Gonna kick it booze down. Gonna make a loud sound when I put the booze down. I put the booze down, I roam the underground. I spit, drum, I produce, I'm rocking triple crown. I may be off the sauce, but getting stoned my guidance. Everybody knows it's like common knowledge. In some place bets, I fall off the wagon. I guess you'd expect those fucks to be hating. Never giving up or submitting to luck. So Dwanya, get on the mic and rip shit up. I put the booze down, I'm walking downtown. Because I lost the right to drive, I stick to juice now. And what I do now is keep you spellbound. And when I grip the microphone, homeward I'm bound. Step up, represent from the Midwest. Minimum wage in, put me to the test. Sometimes I feel as though my head might burst. Because there's nothing worse than an alcoholic with his feelings hurt. Well, I'm not rhyming while boozing, I'm blazing through in the loom. And I'm running to the Cypress Hills cause my temples are booming. Hart, Michigan is where I was born. And when the snow is falling, I still wish I was gone. They say he was an addict, always an addict. A phone call from the cops will put my girl in a panic. Disconnected from the booze when I break it down. Bill, you know my man, I wanna give him a pound. I kick it booze down, I put the booze down. I kick it booze down, I put the booze down. So how you gonna kick it? Gonna kick it booze down. Yeah, how you wanna kick it? Gonna kick it booze down. So how you gonna kick it? Gonna kick it booze down. Gonna make a loud sound when I put the booze down.
Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, then go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.
420 Radio.
Did you make banana bread?
Nope, that's my new banana bread scent candle from Great Lakes Soybean Candles.
That smells amazing. Where can I get one?
You can visit Sherry at Great Lakes Soybean Candles at 1021 Holton Road in North Muskegon, or go to the website at greatlakessoybeancandles.com.
Hey, what's that smell in the bathroom?
Ah, that's just monkey farts.
Busking men, designer shoes. Check. Did it on the motherfucking track. One take wonder. Okay, maybe two. What's the point? Tell me that you're with that. Check. Play, Billy. The best of you.
Here we go. I try to keep my mouth shut, your
making me mad. Can say I regret meeting you, I'm actually glad. For you, I'm as somebody new, someone who brings that real love, respects my point of view. If that makes me a bad person, that's just fine. You fucked up first, you can't see that you're blind. You say you were real, organic and original. I was with you long enough to know that you're banal. Sorry girl, but your cover is blown. None of your ideas are actually your own. You're so cocky, arrogant, such a dickhead. You left so much intelligence, I'm not surprised if you're inbred. 2 days after we split, you skipped town for some chlamydia bitch. Came back a week later with I'm sorry, I love you, I learned from this shit. All I think you got was a probable itch. When this with your ears, if you white like Casper, blasting through the ghetto blaster for the bastard. Pretty soon your whole crew will expose you, then you'll be the only one busting the designer shoe. When this with your ears, if you white like Casper, blasting through the ghetto blaster for the bastard. Pretty soon your whole crew will expose you, then you'll be the only one busting the designer shoes. You make me sick, or a minute had me believing you were something different. Not one of those guys whose brain isn't as big. You're so egocentric, your skull is pretty thick. Looking back, I don't know what I ever saw in you. For a couple months you had me thinking you were special and new. Thank God I stepped out of that train of thought. Try to deny it, everything about you store-bought. So you move out west, you're gonna make it big. I think it's time you grow up and find a new gig. Try some new shit, connect the dots. You're pushing 30, not pulling off folk rock. This song's only aimed at you, not about the guys that stand behind you in the bastard few. Ooh, cool, so you're hot in one city. Newsflash, bitch, your music's kinda shitty.
God damn. That was
Here we go. When it's with your ears, if you white like Casper, blasting through the ghetto blaster for the bastard. Pretty soon your whole crew will expose you, then you'll be the only one busting the designer shoe. When it's with your ears, if you white like Casper, blasting through the ghetto blaster for the bastard. Pretty soon your whole crew will expose you, then you'll be the only one busting the designer shoes.
Myself some time. When I was a minor, this shit was major. Then I searched for ways to reach the minds with my rhymes. I'm back to the exact point I was then, and I will be till I'm so suppressed. I finally drop to my knees, I just bend them. Help me send out a prayer for the depressed. Yes, the knack for this comes quite naturally. All I need is a little inspiration. I know I'll ride this wave or lose it in the sea. My inspiration comes from recognizing devastation. Caught between nowhere and goodbye. Lifeless air and no will to survive. Keep your head high and realize that no one will survive. To survive, standing between death and goodbye. Life's not fair, but if we try, you'll survive. Into the sky and let the beat pound. Stand ground, find the face of clouds. Yo, there's still an underlying fear, I won't get out of here. I know I thrive in abandonment. The sun seems so bright when your vision is crystal clear. Work 9 to 5 supporting music habits and paying the rent. Music, it runs through every surface. It's not a race, I'm just trying to keep the pace. Most are quite unsure, but I certainly am certain. Certain dreams you cannot take, they won't be erased. No, depression is underrated when you love to hate it. The bottle of booze is always half gone, so I administrated verbal medication, trying to sedate it. Your memory will live on through every word of my song. Caught between nowhere and goodbye. Lifeless air and no will to survive. Keep your head high and realize that no one will survive. No will to survive. Standing between death and goodbye. Life's not fair, but if we try, you'll survive. Into the sky, let the beat pound. Stand ground, find the face of clouds. Caught between nowhere and goodbye. Lifeless air and no will to survive. Keep your head high and realize that no one will survive. No will to survive. Standing between death and goodbye. Life's not fair, but if we try, you'll survive. Into the sky, let the beat pound. Stand ground, find the face of the clouds.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to 420 Radio, WTHC's The Hidden Stash Show. I am Smokey Kush, joined with... Yeah, Duanye right there. Technical difficulties. Alright, so we are here, and we are waiting on Carlos right now to join us in studio. He is downstairs mowing like he usually does on Crystal's amazing edibles. So we are just going to jump right into everything. We have Duanye on the phone, who's a hip-hop artist, and he's based out of Grand Rapids, and he's amazing. If you haven't checked him out, check him out. You know, he does some amazing work, but we're going to talk to him right now. So, yeah. Hello, Duanye.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing?
I am doing good, man. I just, for the occasion, cracked open a nice premium non-alcoholic beer.
Nice.
So, I'm getting ready for this. I owe it to myself.
Hell yeah, I agree. Welcome to the Hidden Stash Show. Thank
you for having me.
I'm Smokey Kush, and also...
I'm Dawn.
And we have...
Hi, Dawn.
Clark Nienhuis.
There we go. We're waiting on Carlos.
Of course we are.
Yeah. When aren't we? When aren't we waiting on that guy? So what's been going on, man? When did you discover like musical talent, like that you had some musical talent?
Music's always been like a big part of my upbringing, I suppose. My grandparents raised me, and my grandma played piano for church, all that good stuff. Both my parents, played instruments in high school and whatnot. So I started doing, piano lessons when I was little with my grandma, and then at the time I was like, this shit is stupid. So I stopped. In hindsight, I wish I never would have, but that's kind of where it started.
Right.
After that, I got in a band. I was a band geek in middle school, and then me and my brother Ephraim convinced my grandma into at our promise that we would start a Christian rock band. She went out and got us a drum set and bass guitar, and from there it was kind of over. I was a fat kid in middle school, so I just woodshedded on the drums.
Nice.
Wow.
So that's kind of where it started.
So where did the name Duanye originate?
That was kind of just like a little happy accident. My oldest brother used to call me Dwayne, and he was doing some big party and made T-shirts for everybody. And he called me that because I hated the name Dwayne. I think it's a ridiculous name. And no offense to the Dwaynes out there if there's any, but he made some T-shirts. He just basically switched the letters around, so the Y and the N were flip-flops, so my shirt read Duanye. Obviously a different spelling than I use now, but I don't know, it kind of just stuck. Even before I started doing the hip-hop thing, people would just call me Duanye. And I figured when I did start doing it, every rapper needs like an alias, so
I want to apologize.
So that was my given name.
I want to apologize, Duanye, because I totally spelled your name wrong on the promotional picture that I made. I'm sorry.
It is not a big deal because I was the asshole that decided to have such a ridiculously silly spelled name. But it's really that if you just spelled it out,
Juggalos can't spell, after all.
What's up?
It's like Juggalos can't spell, after all, so...
Exactly.
I felt like such a nerd, because I noticed that, and I told you about it, and then a week ago I put on his wall, yo, excited to get you here, Duanye, Juggalos can spell. And so Smokey's like, see that for Photoshop. I'm like,
so wait, Smokey, are you a Juggalo then? Before we go on any further.
Me? Or Smoke?
I'm kidding, dude. Smokey.
Oh.
Whoop, whoop. Hey, man, I love the fam. I'm going back to the gathering. That was one of the best festivals I've ever been to.
Smokey's not a Juggalo.
Smokey talks about himself third person, though.
Yeah. Always.
So, yeah, that's where the name came from, and I know it's a nightmare to spell, but whatever.
Yeah, it's cool, man.
So obviously you didn't always do hip hop rap, because I remember going and seeing you guys, man. If he dies, he dies, man. Rocking it out.
Oh, if he cries, he cries.
Rocking it out.
That was a big part of, you know.
Dude, when I first heard you rap, I could not believe you were the same person.
Well, I mean, it's a total 180, but I mean, there's a lot of, like, you'd be surprised to do some digging. There's a lot of people that do hip-hop that have come from, like, you know, metal backgrounds, or even in the mainstream. You know, look at Tommy Lee. You know, he didn't do a very good job at it, but he tried.
Right.
He drove a boat with his wiener.
Yes, he did do that.
Let's not forget that.
But yeah, I mean, the whole if he dies, he dies, or if he, that was a big part of just, you know, my career, I guess, if you want to call it that, as a musician. You know, I learned a lot, and the way things happened, it didn't work out, and in hindsight, that's probably the best thing in so many different ways, but it did get us out there and, you know, got me accustomed to just performing, you know, and even doing hip-hop, people think it's so easy to get up there and, I guess, just rap or talk fast, whatever you want to do, but there's also performance in it, too, to make, if you want to make it interesting, you know?
Right. Well,
Stage presence is key.
Dude, I listen to you guys. I listen to all you guys all the time. I don't even listen to mainstream music anymore because it's just, you know, not only, you know, and it's not just because I want to support the local talent, but you guys are all really good at what you do. Everything.
Well, I think it's, I mean, music in general, you know, the state of music is just horrible. It's probably the worst it's ever been. So
totally agree,
it's up to people like us to you know, make good music. It can still be catchy and fun, but it can still have some more substance and meaning, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, Dwayne, I remember a little over a year ago when the 1 Year in the Clear came out. Well, actually, The Difference, and that was the first time I actually heard your lyrics. And then I was excited for your 1 Year in the Clear that came out. And I remember I had that CD, the black and white checkered like spiral CD, and I don't know, I had that in my CD player for about a solid 7 weeks, dude. And I think it's like I don't know, 19, 20, and 21 are like three bangers. Like you can just put them on and they're dope. So,
well, I remember you telling me that, man. Like at that time, and that was an exciting time for everyone because
it was all
like
fresh and brand new.
Me and Will like did the majority of the production on that whole summer, and that's when I really got to know the whole Muck Truck crew. Like, you know, just really starting to get to know them, and it was awesome because people were popping in and out, and I think just the energy of that and the energy of something new, not only with like what I was doing, but with what everybody else was doing, and that was kind of, I think, like, you know, the beginning of the snowball effect, I suppose, because after that it was like everyone pushing to outdo each other, but there's always a friendly competition, you know?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, Temple House apartment, 2 was one of the best times, was some of the best times of my life, man, especially last 2 summers ago, like meeting you and running into Crosby again. Like I grew up with him, so running into him, and I don't know, it was just Trump tight. Like I'm really happy I was there for that part of my life. I'm glad.
Yeah, I mean, me too, man. We all kind of, I think, took a little different turn with whatever it is we were doing, and it seems to be working, you know.
For sure.
As long as
yeah, you're a beast. You know, big ups. If you guys don't know who this guy is, it's Duhanye, DUH1YAY. Like it's check him out on Facebook. Like
I appreciate that, man. And you know, to have someone say it like that, because I mean, there's so many other people out there that, in my opinion, like just get on a mic and just rip it up. It's just, I think I do have a little bit of a different voice because, you know, I haven't always been doing this, and I think that sometimes it works in my advantage, as well as, you know, subject matter and all that fun stuff. But
right now,
I do appreciate that.
Now, with all that, like, who are some of like your major influences that, you know, kind of made you like the artist that you are today?
As far as like, I mean, it's hard to say for me because, honestly, like I have such a, just a varied taste in music. You know, I was a kid in the 80s, so, but I didn't like the cock rock, you know, I liked I remember my mom, like, when Michael Jackson Bad came out, that shit was just, I mean, to me, I remember thinking, like, this shit is bad fucking ass. Like, Michael Jackson. And it was, too. I mean, still to this day. And then, like, you know, like Hall & Oates and stuff like that. And I think that's why I like Melody so much. And I like the cheesy pop stuff, you know. And then, so then in the 90s, I was, you know, a teenager, I was listening to, like, my older brother's West Coast gangster rap tapes, and that's where it first really, like, to me, hip-hop, I mean, Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre, and then, like, even the East Coast, like, Das Effects and Tribe Called Quest, and then even, like, the Boyz II Men and Belle Biv DeVoe and Mariah Carey and shit that my sister used to listen to. I think all that shit plays into everything, and then, of course, you know, my metal side, like, I've always been a big fan of the Deftones, even though they're, like, not really metal, but Deftones and just, you know, a lot of that stuff, they were the one band from the 90s that survived, like, the new metal bullshit with Limp Bizkit and Korn, and, you know, look up to stuff like that, but as far as MCs go, I think, like, the local talent scene, local Michigan MCs, there's so many different ones that, like, you know, like Man Wolf locally just kills it. He's always inspirational to watch.
Yeah.
You know, people like, even the people in our circle, Phil Me, he's always getting better and, like, coming up with just crazy, his approach to things is just crazy, and it's awesome. And of course, Bill Crosby.
The first time I saw Man Wolf was at a deck party, and, like, he was just going off about the food that I was eating, that we were eating. And he was like, and the food was great. And they started talking about because there was a lightning show. Like, it was crazy. It wasn't raining, but there was amazing visuals, just lightning, and it was cloudy, and it was like flowing about that. I was like, this is nuts. And then I saw him. The second time I seen him was about 6 months later at the Blue Note. And he walks in with some moon boots and some tight jeans and a sweater. And I'm like, what's this kid going to do? You know, I was like, if I remember correctly, he's going to kill it. However, and then it took about 4 words, and I was like, okay, yep, this is that guy, yep. So,
I mean, he's like one of those people that just, like, commands attention when he's got the mic, you know?
True story.
And, well, I don't know, man. I can't really pinpoint any, like, major influences in hip-hop. Obviously, like, a lot of the way I write, sometimes personal life experiences, like, I got some comparisons to, like, not comparisons, but, for instance, one of his insults on me, and I'm sure we'll get to this later, but was that I was a slug wannabe, you know, from Atmosphere. And, you know, I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't want to be anybody but myself, but if somebody wants to say it sounds like that or is similar to that, you know, so be it. I think he's a great artist. You know, anybody on the Rhyme Series crew, all those guys, you know, I look up to them. So I guess if there was a style I was going for, it'd be like that Midwest, you know, hip hop.
Right? I mean, what's wrong with you? You sound like a good artist.
Right.
Thank you. And you have nice teeth. Oh, okay. I'm like, all right, what else you got? Like, off the wall shit.
Well, the fuck, I don't even have a cavity.
Right? Like, what, dude? All right, nice. Should have came out a nice sweater.
But, yeah, I mean, dude, influences, for me, it's just, I couldn't really just be like this one person really made me.
Right.
You know, want to be like this or that.
Well, it's good, man, because that's always good to be yourself. So,
for sure.
I want to know, man, have you ever gotten to, you know, like, play with any, like, bigger name artists? Like, open a show for anybody?
As far as, like, stuff with the Iffy stuff, If You Dies, You Dies, like, we got to do quite a bit of cool stuff. We got to play with this band called Arson Anthem, which basically is like a super group of Phil and Salmo, the singer for Pantera.
Nice.
Hank Williams III, and then Mike Williams from I Got. We did like a 4-day mini tour with them. And, and it was, you know, it was obviously post Dimebag Darrell had been killed, you know, like years before that.
Right.
But, like, to hear and, like, meet Phil and Selma, like, I was a huge Pantera fan. I still think they're, like, one of the best metal bands that there is. And to be able to, like, I don't know, there's arenas in their careers to playing, 200, 300 person capacity clubs. It just shows why they're doing it. They love doing it.
Right.
Yeah, we did that. Mastodon, we played with, I don't know, Big Destroyer, Glassjaw at Soundfest. But as far as like the Dwani and stuff, I got to open for Blueprint up in Petoskey, which is super cool.
Nice. Blueprint.
We played with Roast Bit, Majestic Legend, One Below, which are all like kind of, under the radar hip hop artists, but they're all respected.
Right.
Brother Ali, I got to do my set right before him at Soundfest. So
nice. Brother Ali's tits. Like that
Yeah.
guy. Like that guy.
He is, man. He is raw.
So,
But yeah, I mean that's pretty much it.
Yeah. So, like, did you release the new album, or are you releasing it now, or?
We are finishing it up actually.
Nice.
I am in the process of. I've got to track one more song, and then we just mix for the next probably couple months. I'm gonna hopefully have it ready to physical copies by February.
Nice.
My goal is to get it pretty much mixed down by the new year, and
let's do it on
me
February
and Nick.
9th.
Me and Nick are working on it. What's that?
Let's do it on February 9th.
What's February 9th? Is that your birthday?
It's just a day. It's another
Okay.
work day.
Just another work day. No, it's so hard to say, man. I wanted to have this done a while ago, but I'm
Yeah,
glad
I
we're taking our
understand.
time on it because it's my best thing I've done. And if other people see it like that, then cool. If not, cool. But I'm really proud of it. Really happy with it. It'll definitely be this winter.
Oh yeah.
Working on a video right now with Nick Cedor.
Oh yeah.
You guys know him?
Oh yeah, we know him.
Yes.
Nick's a good friend of 420 Radio. He's a good-
I see it. Is he logged in right now?
Oh, I don't know.
I thought he was. Yeah, he just showed me. I was totally late on the party with this one, but the whole butterscotch swirl phenomenon, like, that shit just blows my mind.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So yeah.
As you're doing this, do you have to, are you working a regular job to support yourself with the music thing?
Yeah, yep. I work as a cook out here at this place called Real Food Cafe, and it's a solid gig, man. I've been cooking for pretty much my whole work life, and I can do it. I'm good at it, and a lot of people will tell you that are musicians and in the food business. If you're good at it, it's easy to work your way up quick.
Yeah.
Be able to take off those
That
weekends.
totally all makes sense to me now because your video.
Yeah, the Busted video.
Right.
I talked
It
my
totally
whole
makes
job
sense
into letting
now.
us-
That's what you
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
That was
that's cool.
Recipes with lyrics in 1 year in the clear as well. That's all, I remember that.
I like that video, by the way.
Thank you very much. That was me and Greggy tackled that together, and that was his first time doing any kind of video or anything, and he just jumped into it, and I thought he nailed it, especially for the equipment we had and the resources. We didn't really have much. We didn't know anything about it.
Now, was that the actual place that you are employed at?
No, not anymore. That was out in Whitehall.
Oh, nice.
And I've been out in Grand Rapids now since August, so.
Nice.
Yeah, but I've been at that place for like 5 years, and I just told them, like, hey, we'll come in on a slow time and shoot a verse. And they were cool with it, so.
That's cool.
It worked out perfect.
Now, that whole track right there, that was a return disc to a cat named Mind One. That's funny.
Yeah,
That sounds weird.
and if you haven't heard of him, that will absolutely blow my mind. Because this guy's like world renowned, but
he's huge.
Yeah, you know what? He is an interesting person. I met Mind One. I've known him for a while. I grew up in Pentwater, and so did he. He was probably like a senior when I was in 7th or 8th grade. And so even back then, I knew that he was like, rapping and stuff, and everybody would talk about this guy who rapped. And blah, 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 So woodwork and wants to get on these shows, and it's all last minute, and he didn't even come at us with like any proper demos or anything. And when he finally did, and I heard it, I just thought to myself, like, it's just not going to work. Like, you know how it is. I'm not trying to hate really, but you hear something and it's just, it's not going to work. So I guess, go ahead. I thought you were saying something. Anyway, long story short, we wouldn't book him for any shows just because it didn't seem right. And he wanted to play Soundfest, and me and the whole crew was working on that. And that was a total non-fit there also, so I told him we didn't have any room, and after that he just, like, got out of hand, got really on Facebook, just putting me on Slam right out there, and, same thing with Dida. He just threw her into the mix just because, she's my girlfriend, and
right.
He's basically going after someone that didn't do shit to him and putting us all down, saying that we're all, I don't even know.
Didn't he label like it shit shat or something like that?
Yeah, he did say that. I'm glad you brought that up because I kind of erased him from my memory. But yeah, he said shit shat, and that was the straw that broke the camel's back. No, he like I'm sure Los, you saw everything. He basically, he did say "fuck you, Douanier."
Yeah, that was
basically
terrible though. It was just.
But I think it's funny that he had like such a bug up his ass about you, but he had the nerve to put like Muck's Wreck as like the the picture in the video.
Right. Yeah, and then getting to that, I thought at the time, Southwest was coming up, and we all were too busy to even mess with this dude,
Right.
But for me, it's like, and I was talking to you a little bit earlier about this, it's like, I'm the kind of guy that, like, if anything, like, I get walked on, and I put myself, I put others before me, especially, like, at shows, I'll get dicked over because I'm like, okay, well, you can play this slot, you know what I mean? Like, I just got to a point where, like, I started to have to, you can't take shit forever, And so I just sat on it. I didn't reply right away. And then me and Phil were sitting around. I was like, you know what? I just need like a burner track, dude. Just a fire beat, And he popped one off like he always does. And it was great. It was perfect. And I laid it over up in his bedroom. And it was just basically, it was the truth, man. Like, I didn't really want to do it, and I stated that right away. And that was my response to him, and I waited till after, till he thought that he was in the clear, I think. And I think that's kind of what burned him most, was my response was like a pretty good track with a sweet video, and a very like real description of how shit really went down,
Yeah.
And then when he fired back, it was just, oh man. See, and me being the guy that feels for people, like, I felt bad for him. I'm like, what the fuck am I feeling bad for this dude? But did you guys hear that track, his retaliation track?
Oh, straight garbage, man.
Yeah.
Like,
wow.
You could barely understand him.
Yeah. And then he ended up taking it down. I can't find it anywhere, so.
Oh, are you serious?
Hey, you want to know something? I actually, I YouTube converted it to an MP3.
Oh, you did?
I have it on my hard drive. Yeah. I'll send it to you. I'll send it to your email if you want it.
I would love to have that because
I kept it just because I knew like he was garbage when I heard it. Like it played and I was just like, oh my god, you can't understand him. Is he chewing on marbles? What? Who made this beat? Like a cartoon kid? What the hell's going on?
Dude, he makes his beats too, and it's like, and that's why like I really didn't want to do this because it's like picking on the special kid at school kind of shit. You know what I mean?
It's like kicking the special needs kid when he falls down.
That was terrible.
And I don't know. I mean, I totally don't regret it because I had fun doing it, and I think the video turned out funny and awesome. And I think that was just another thing that burned him. Was like to me, it's just total like whatever. Let's just have fun with it.
Yeah, because the video was a shit, and And the song is the shit.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the video, like, really hit it off. You know, like, that really kind of gave you, like, an in-depth look into Dwanye. You know, like, you didn't want to do it, but, like, look at all these people that got your back. And, like, it was good.
And that was the thing, and if it was, like, really as bad as people thought, and, like, I don't think as many people would have been behind it, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
But it was basically just something that needed to be said, and, you know, I gotta stick up for myself every once in a while.
Hey, man, you gotta do what you gotta do. There's no beef. You just gotta stick up for yourself. So,
my favorite part of that video is when you and Biffy did a get out of that car, and you guys are all suited up, and you guys start like breaking shit, man.
That's an Office Space reference.
That's the best part of the video, man.
Vince needs to win a fucking Emmy for that shit, because he was punching that thing for real, that receiver. Like, his knuckle was jacked. I was like, Biff, you don't have to really hit this thing. And he's like, fuck it, Daniel Day-Lewis style. Got the character.
Nice.
Seriously, there needs to be a fucking video award
I love
for
me some
local
Jeff,
shit.
let me tell you.
Man, I like that Office Space reference, because like that, as soon as I saw it, I was like, Office Space. Like, yeah, one of the
Well,
great.
that was totally Ditta's, like, idea, too, because, you know, I was struggling to figure out what I wanted to do for the third verse, and she was like, let's do that. I was like, fuck yeah, and she got to be the guy. The guy taking shit, you know?
So, dude, I gotta ask you, man, are you a cannabis consumer, a medical marijuana patient?
Well, I will say that I do not have a problem with that whatsoever. Who knows if my grandma's listening, but, no, yeah, I am. For me, it's, all I can say is that you would rather see me like that than drunk on any day. And I don't think anybody that's going to be token is going to be driving all crazy and killing people on the road. And if anything, they're going to be like, I don't really need to drive anywhere. I'm just going to sit here and listen to some music. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, there's so many different stances and stuff on it, but I don't see a problem with it whatsoever.
Good, man. I'm glad. Because you definitely, you seem like you have that niche to smoke. So.
Well, this new album too, man. Like, all I gotta say is you gotta listen to it, you know, with headphones on, because it's gonna be one of those.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to do that.
So I'm super excited about that.
Yay!
Yeah, it's a great, you know, the whole theme is kind of based like a whole melancholy type, you know, based around loss of any sort. And you know, with my sister passing away last year, it really turned this. You know, we had just started working on something new. And when that happened, I didn't even know what I wanted to do as far as like music or putting myself out there anymore. But when the new song started to form, I think that it's going to be helpful for people that have had something like that happen to them, or have lost something in general, which everybody has. And you know, hip hop's all about bringing people together, as it is anyway. So it's like it's a whole different approach, but I think the songs are as solid as they've ever been, and you know.
Oh yeah, man.
It's gonna have a cool little vibe to it.
Oh yeah. So I want to know, how can people, our listeners, get to listen to your music besides just here on 420 Radio?
Well, you can go to Dwanye.com, and that is D-U-H, like duh.
Duh.
And then Juan, like J-U-A-N, like the Mexican. And then Yay, like Y-A-Y, .com. And obviously you don't have to write all that shit in between, it's just Dwanye.com. And you can find everything I have for free right now. 1 year in the clear, 26 tracks for free. You can't really beat that. Busted's on there. My old Dwanye and the Dr. Trio is on there. Yeah, Dwanye.com. That's where I'm going to keep posting everything. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do for the new album, but it'll be cheap, if not free, so.
Yeah.
At least online.
Oh yeah, man.
Sweet.
Well, Dwanye, I want to thank you, man. I want you to keep up all this hard work that you're doing. And next time we look forward to talking to you in studio.
We will do that for sure, man.
We'll definitely rearrange that, prearrange that so that you you are here. And Nick Sidor too. So we're gonna definitely work on that, man.
Yeah.
But I want to thank you for spending some time in the circle this evening.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Oh,
Don and Los, pleasure.
Thank you.
Carlos,
I
appreciate it.
I said thank you for Carlos because he's no longer available at this moment.
Okay.
So thank you.
Cool.
And we'll definitely
Thank you, man. Thanks for having me. And spread the word, dude. I appreciate you having me on.
No doubt, man. Take it easy, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Peace.
Later.
Guys, cool.
Cool guy.
Can't wait to have him in studio.
Yeah.
Kind of get that real vibe, about him. So.
That's what's so cool about all these guys, whether they're Muxrec or Spitspat or on their own, their music has meaning.
Exactly.
It's not just pointless. Oh, I shot somebody. Blah, blah, blah. And yeah, really.
So this was one of the bands you were talking about. You wanted to try to get into the GLCC or something?
No. Oh, your thing.
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk about that later. So. But, Carlos knows Duane pretty well. They hang out sometimes, every once in a while.
Yeah, the kid's a beast.
Yeah.
That man can play a set of drums.
Man, tell you, he's a hell of a rapper, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a fan.
I became a fan. I became a fan when I heard Booze Down.
Yeah.
But then I really became a fan when I heard Bust It. And I was like, oh, man, listen to the way that, he's telling this kid, he doesn't want to hurt his feelings, but he's going to do it anyway. I thought that was creative. So, yeah, hats off to Duane. We got to have him in studio.
Definitely.
So.
I'm down.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That was funny about the Mexican. Duane is in Mexican.
I'm sure he did that because Carlos Masqueta is a Mexican-American.
No, he did it. I grew up in Montag, dude.
Yeah?
With all them,
them
beaners, so that's why they did
wow.
hanging out with Bill Crosby, dude.
Yo, Dano.
So, yeah, Dango.
Dano rocks.
I miss you, man.
I do too.
I miss you, brother.
I just talked to him the other day.
All right.
This is the next guy you got up.
Yes. I think we're going to go to break right now. I think we're going to go medicate a little bit.
Hey, add an extra song so we can get some pictures of that Gandalf.
Oh, you want longer breaks?
Oh, yeah. I need to take some pictures.
I need more vacation time.
Yeah. Oh.
No, I need a 401k and some dental. What's up?
All
right. Yeah, I need some breaks. Dental, for real.
Longer breaks.
You need some dental?
I don't know.
I need some dental, too.
I need a mouth hug.
Oh. All right, definitely time to go to break now. So we're going to jump right in right now with some Ski Town Styley. We'll come back in a little bit.
hip, pony rack shows all the time. Yeah, I hear you knocking up on the door, why don't you come out and see? I know you bobbing your fucking head to that ski down style. We bringing up all the blues, we mean it, no disrespect, but we rep the ski down on the land.
For the Michigan Medical Marijuana Program, conditions covered under this statute are glaucoma, cancer, hepatitis C, Crohn's disease, and other ailments such as severe and chronic pain, nausea, and seizures. For more information regarding the program, or if you would like to schedule an appointment, please contact Kim at Michigan Holistic Health at area code 231-736-0128, or you can call our 855 number at 855-420-8100. We have clinics available in Battle Creek, Muskegon, and offices in Kalamazoo and Grand Rapids.
This is Max Random, and I'm with Smokey Kush on 420 Radio, WTHC.
I smoked pot, I drank a lot of scotch, and I've taken a tranquilizer or two. For 28 years now, I've enjoyed them all. Hey, it's what I love to do. But it's not the pills, and definitely not the weed, and it's not the booze I'm addicted to. I'm addicted to relaxing, I'm addicted to hanging with my friends, I'm addicted to having a good time, I'm addicted to not letting it in. Friends and me together, we're addicted to relaxing, we're addicted to doing nothing fast, we're addicted to eating good munchies, we're addicted to having a blast. Now the pills, they sure feel good when my body is aches and pains, and sometimes it feels oh so good just turning off my brain. Now the weed'll make you forget things, yeah, that's definitely true. It'll help you to forget all the bad things that have ever happened to you. Now the booze, that's my favorite. When I have some, I always share. It makes my life such an awesome party, and I could buy it damn near anywhere. But I'm addicted to relaxing, I'm addicted to hanging with friends, I'm addicted to having a good time, I'm addicted to not letting it in. Friends and me together, we're addicted to relaxing, we're addicted to doing nothing fast, we're addicted to eating good munchies, we're addicted to having a laugh. Now at my intervention, they said that I would get to choose. Said I could stay with my family and their dramas, or I could leave with my precious booze. Decisions, decisions. Let's raise our glass to those no longer around. Let's hope they find weed and pills and booze while they still have some precious time, so we can all be addicted to relaxing, addicted to hanging with friends, addicted to having a good time, addicted to not letting it in. All of us together, we're addicted to relaxing, Addicted to doing nothing fast. Addicted to eating good munchies.
Welcome back to 420 Radio, WTXC's Hidden Stash Show. I'm Smokey Kush, and I'm sitting solo right now in the studio, but that's okay. So yeah, can't get a hold of the second guest, and we're gonna end up trying to get a hold of him here in a little bit and talk to him. But for now, man, I want to talk a little bit about something I saw today in our news. 4 states are petitioning the feds to reclassify cannabis. So, like, you know, what's up with that? Like, we have 4 states: Rhode Island, Washington, Vermont, and Colorado. And they're petitioning the federal government to reclassify marijuana, to reclassify cannabis as a it doesn't need to be a Schedule 1 drug. It doesn't need to be something that is more so than cocaine and heroin. It just seems a little ridiculous that marijuana is placed above all that.
It shouldn't even... Alcohol should be classified worse than marijuana.
Of course.
I mean, really, if you think about it.
There are people that can't handle any type of substance. It doesn't matter if it's cannabis, heroin, alcohol, tobacco. People will abuse things which they choose, and it doesn't matter.
Right.
It's your body. You do what you do, but don't go out and get behind the wheel after you shoot heroin or drink a 6-pack or smoke 4 fat blunts. I mean, just...
And I just can't see, natural, herbal, cannabis being more harmful than cocaine.
Exactly.
Crack. I really?
But it's placed in that schedule. It's a
I
Schedule
know.
1 drug.
It's ridiculous.
Whereas cocaine and heroin and crack, they're all Schedule 2. It's ridiculous why cannabis is placed in that horrible stigma. Because all it does to me is it gets me high, makes me feel nice, makes me feel good.
Makes me want to sit down and watch a movie.
And certain strains make me want to get up and do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And clean and work and do the job that I'm supposed to do. So, yeah.
I honestly, I couldn't leave my house if
Haters gonna hate.
If I did not consume cannabis in some way, shape, or form, I would never be able to leave my house.
Cannabis is good for anxiety.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's excellent.
Cannabis is one of those it's one of those herbal remedies. You smoke.
I wouldn't be on this show right now if it weren't for cannabis.
Hey, cannabis is good. I think everybody who listens to this show and every other medical marijuana show realizes how good cannabis is because it does their body good. Yes, I'm kind of upset. We can't get a hold of Joe Grumbine. I really wanted to talk to him, but I don't know. I'm waiting on Carlos. He's down there dilly-dallying around.
I was taking pictures of Carlos with the Gandalf.
It doesn't matter. He's down there dilly-dallying
My
around.
fault.
He knows. He's fired.
He's like, what?
All right. So, I don't know. We don't really have anything. Carlos was supposed to be here to talk about his Mux Rec stuff, so I think we're going to probably scratch that since he's not up here to talk about it.
I know, and all I can say is somebody's at Jimmy's. Somebody's over there.
No, we're not even going to talk about it. We're going to talk about how THC reduces the aggressiveness of schizophrenics.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. It's pretty amazing. Because the administration of oral synthetic THC is associated with the improved symptoms. So it's kind of like, all right, they know what's going on. They know They know that it's going to stop everything within these schizophrenics. It's ridiculous that they won't.
Do you know how much money the government will lose over that?
Oh, they recognize it.
Big Pharma's going to be like, there's so many crazy people out there.
Well, they recognize it, and Big Pharma's already over it. You know, they're on it already. You know, they've already, the government has it patented. Big Pharma's already said that they're gonna make a pill. They're gonna make a synthetic THC. They're gonna grow THC. So they're already on it. They're not gonna stop. I mean, they've already said basically, okay, it's illegal to grow your own farm. You know, you can't grow tomatoes, you can't grow cucumbers and jalapenos and all these great things that we were once able to grow. Now we can't grow them because the government wants you to buy their pesticide bullshit. It's ridiculous.
Right.
And we talked about it earlier at the beginning of the show, how you can't even collect your own rainwater in some states.
Yeah.
Some western states. It's like Utah.
Yeah.
And like these really dry states. I get it because they don't want people watering their grass with free water, but to say that you own that water as a government, get out of here. You don't own that water. Whose air am I breathing?
Right. Exactly.
Ridiculous. But it's good for being a schizophrenic, apparently. So, if you have schizophrenia, and you listen to our show, smoke a joint. It's going to make you feel better. Probably a lot better.
Yeah. Says Dr. Smokey.
I've got patches on my sleeves. So, have you guys watched the show Weed Wars?
I have not.
Oh, man. Carlos?
Is it on television?
It's on the interwebs, too.
Oh, no, I've never seen it. I apologize.
This show is about one of the largest dispensaries in America. They're home to 95,000 plus patients and caregivers, and they documented everything that they do on a daily basis, and they open and they run like a bank, basically. Like, they've got people with walkie-talkies saying, we open in 5 minutes, we open in 5 minutes, blah, 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 blah. People get in their positions. They start wheeling out the carts of marijuana and cannabis and amazing tinctures and products that they provide. Pretty amazing stuff, man. They had a kid on the second episode, this last episode, who I think was 4 or 5, and he had really bad seizures.
Yeah.
Really bad seizures. And his dad was an at-home dad, and he basically was, like, I don't know what to do anymore. He's like, I don't know my son. I don't know his true personality. I don't know who he is. And he gave him some tincture on the show.
What?
Yeah, on the show. In front of everybody, to let everybody see.
In front of everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody saw it.
And he, within 4 days, this kid wasn't having seizures. He was, he had a sense of humor. He was like a normal kid.
Huh.
After 4 days of taking the tincture. So, I mean, look, people, you don't have to believe us that this has medicinal values until something happens to, like, one of your family members. Somebody gets cancer, and then you need Simpson oil pills, and then you realize that cannabis actually helps heal. This is, I mean, this is documented well over and over again.
Right.
I mean, this isn't like the first story about it, but the show Weed Wars, check that show out, man. Thursday nights at 10 o'clock p.m. on the Discovery Channel. It's a good show, man. I mean, it gives you a real insight to a lot of things. Like, there's growers on there. They give you tips. There's, it's an amazing show. Check it out. Check it out. You definitely got to check it out.
Will do.
Will do. Will do. Carlos, what's going on in the Muck's world over there? Tell me some things. I want to hear some things.
Right on. I will tell you some things. Things are like this. excuse me. Wednesday, tomorrow, we're going to have Temple House Jam at the West Side Inn, 1635 Bidler Street. And it's bring your own instrument, you know. Come on, bring your axe, bring your bass. We got a drum kit that you can use. Bring your keyboard. I mean, what you got? Let's hear it. Let's see what you're
Bring
doing.
your vocal cords.
And then Saturday, we have Homeless Poet at the West Side with Wavy Hands, C. Rushing, and Charlie. I'm very excited for this show. This is
Deb Ashley's friends. What bar do you use?
That's my family Christmas party day.
Would
That's so not fair.
You know, there's a wedding that day that I am going to, and I mean, but come on. Well, receptions don't go to 2 a.m.
Looking like that?
Huh?
Looking like that?
Like what?
Do you need a mirror again?
Oh, man. Is it that bad? Is it really that bad?
No, it's not that bad, man. You're good.
I don't...
People quit sending me stuff on Facebook about Mafia Wars and Pop Farm.
What, man?
I don't do those things.
Yeah, that's garbage.
Yeah.
So, right on. That's what's going on for Saturday at Westside. And as always, they got them $1 beers and $5 pictures of some pibbers.
PBRs.
No cover. Come on out. That's how we get down. This is going to be fun. Like, you know, blah, blah, blah. Everybody likes the music that they like. But, I don't know. I'm going to post this up with their music. Why isn't this tagged? Wish I could change this. I don't have the right. I can't do it.
I don't have the right. Plead the fifth. So is that all? Is that all that's going on with Mox Rag? No Ski Town Styling, no King Crab Apple, no.
Nope. I'll tell you what's going on though. We're saving it up for the for the Super Show, man. We got New Year's Eve, so you know we're not gonna play, and we're also gonna get those EPs out before the New Year. So
I heard a little rumor that you guys are going to be wearing suits and ties.
Say what? To wear?
I don't know. That's a little rumor I heard.
Bird told her that.
Don't believe everything that you read.
Or see.
Got a
or
market
hear.
violation and a maggot on your sleeve. So, I don't know. I'm a driver. I'm a winner. Things are going to change. I can feel it.
Whoa.
Yeah, man. So, that's all I got. Cross,
All right.
You're fired.
So, did you guys hear about this story? A Danish man is going to take legal action against a former government hospital for unknown microchipping. They implanted a microchip in this man. This is Danish.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is... But it's happening. His name is Mr. Monroe, and he was 54. And they added a metal piece implanted in him in his lung, and he started noticing like he was coughing up blood. And in May of 1988, like this happened like a long time ago when he was younger, and in 1988, after his discharge, he kept hearing voices in his head, could not lead a normal life, and he would also feel generally unwell and would even cough out blood. Kind of crazy.
Wow.
That's nasty.
Yeah. See what your government's doing to you? It's crazy. Don't let them put you under the knife.
What?
Yeah. Don't let them do it.
How did that happen?
He had a surgery.
Who surgery this guy? Who surgery this guy?
Some people in the Daneland.
The land of Dane. Is that where Dwanye is from?
I don't know. Well, he got some x-rays and found out that he had this little piece.
He got x-rated?
Yeah.
Head nurse?
And he had some pieces in his lung. And then he started noticing, he was coughing up blood. He heard voices in his head. Couldn't lead a normal life.
Was it mercury? Did mercury get him?
No, it was a microchip.
It was the Mad Hatter?
Yeah. Crazy.
What?
It's crazy.
Oh my gatos.
And he filed a lawsuit against these people, and they denied ever servicing him in the hospital.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I got service? Come here, GI.
Crazy.
Yeah. Sorry,
it's nuts,
kids.
Man. It's nuts. Don't let doctors do things to you, man. Don't get vaccines either. Those things are horrible. Get a vaccine, you're going to get sick.
Oh. Yeah, let me put an active flu virus in you so that you don't get the flu.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, they put other things in there, too. There was an older gentleman who worked for our government, and he went on record as saying he used to work as a scientist in the vaccine area for our government, and they put the cancer cell into certain vaccines. So if you're, 60 years old and you've never smoked or never done anything that may cause cancer, guess what? If you got cancer, you got it from that guy.
Okay.
Thank him, and thank your government. That's what happens. Don't trust these people. It's horrible. It's horrible,
Right?
horrible, horrible. It's horrible. Horrible. Alright. So I think we're going to call it evening, folks. And we are going to see you next week. We're going to have a better show than tonight because next week both of our guests will be a part of the show. So I want to thank Duane, Carlos, Don, Crystal, and Clark Nienhaus for joining us tonight. So peace out, everybody. We will see you next week. Peace.
420 Radio. We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.